We'll just work.
Sorry, Prabhu.
We'll just work from here.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. So
So-
let's do the Mangalacharan and then we can start.
Sure.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Urmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hope you all can see my screen. So welcome everyone to the last class for this Isopanishad for exam. So today, as we discussed earlier, we'll just go through the assignment questions. So if anyone has any confusion, we can do that. And then we'll try to do the whole book recap today of the invocation, introduction, and 18 mantras. Okay, so Manmohan Prabhuji, over to you.
So, I mean, we can invite everyone to participate in
Yes, Prabhuji. So please feel free to speak if you have any questions or doubts. They're pretty straightforward questions, but you can just quickly go through. Anyone can say their answers, that's fine. If you don't say, Manmohan Prabhu will say.
So,
Yes,
question, what is the meaning of the word Veda?
or we can do, Prabhuji, this way. If anyone has any doubt, they can raise hands because some questions are really straightforward. Is that okay? If you are clear, we can just move forward. So Veda, I think everyone knows Veda. Okay.
List 4 defects of the conditioned soul.
सबको आता है.
List 3 pramanas.
Okay. I think all good.
Give reasons why Shabda Pramana is superior means of acquiring knowledge.
I think when we discuss this one, anyone would like to say a line or so? Why Shabda is a superior? Yes, Charumataji.
So Vedic knowledge is called Shabda Praman, and another name for it is Shruti. So it is knowledge that is received by oral reception. And Vedic evidence is called Shabda Brahma. There are many things which are beyond the perception of our imperfect senses. Yet the authoritative evidence of sound vibration is perfect. So I've written quite a bit, but I don't know if it is correct or not.
Yeah, so that's correct. I think what we have to prove in this one, why acquiring knowledge from another sources is not as perfect as this source. So that's one part which you proved.
And then
Another
I've
part.
written Shruti is considered to be like mother. We
Yes.
take so much knowledge from our mother. For example, if you want to know who the father is, then your aunt, then who can answer you? Your mother. If the mother says, here is your father, you have to accept it. It is not possible to experiment to find out whether he is your father. Similarly, if you want to know something beyond your experience, beyond experiential knowledge, beyond the activities of senses, then you have to accept the Vedas. There is no question of experimenting. It has already been experimented. It is already settled.
Yeah. And also you can't experiment even if you wanted to.
Yeah, and the
Sure.
Vedas are called Shabda Brahma because evidence taken from Vedas constitute the ultimate understanding. This is because Shabda Brahma or Vedas represent the supreme personality of Godhead. Shabda is imperative, Pratyaksha and Anuman are supportive from.
Yeah, that's good.
And therefore, when a devotee of Krishna is asked about certainty of his belief, he usually answers the question by quoting authority, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else want to add something? Okay. Manmohan Prabhu, you want to add anything else?
I think it's just adding one more point that, as Mataji already said, it's not an experimental knowledge, but then to prove that this is deductive knowledge free from four defects.
Yeah.
So that's the why it is superior, because it's coming through the disciplic succession.
Yeah.
And words of Krishna which are coming from the spiritual world.
Yeah. Okay. All good. Next one, Prabhu.
It's the two systems of knowledge in the material world.
I think everyone got those ones right. Ascending, descending. Okay.
What are the two qualifications of a bona fide guru?
Just one point I wanted to add after looking all the copies. I think someone said he should be well situated in Brahman, which is fine. Someone has written in Brahma mantra. So it should be in Brahman. Brahman means behaviorally, he should be there. So yeah, just one copy at least, which I remember in my head. Okay. Next one, Prabhu.
Give the English meaning of the terms Ishavasya.
In this one, actually, I expected you to explain a little bit. Some devotees have only written the translation. So please explain if this sort of question comes. I'm not expecting half a page explanation, but at least 2 lines so you understand. You want to put an example, like some devotees have put example for para and apara prakriti from Bhagavad Gita, which is very good. Just give, just few examples, just so that you know that term, not by just the definition in English, but also understand it. So Ishavasya is pretty straightforward. We'll discuss about Ishavasya in a minute. Para and apara prakriti. Anyone has any questions on this one?
So, Prabhu, I've just written everything animate and inanimate is controlled by the Lord. Is that enough, or you give example after this?
I can't remember your copy, Mataji, but that should be enough.
Yes, Prabhu, I have written the
Basically,
same. Is that enough for the exam?
So everything animate and inanimate?
Everything animate and inanimate in this universe is controlled by the Lord. So, Isha Vasyam, I have
Yes.
explained that.
Okay. Yeah, one more thing I was expecting, I don't think so I've rejected the marks, but I can't remember. Anyway, so Isha means Supreme Personality of Godhead. Avas means one who resides and controls. So you can break this into 2 words. So Isha plus Avas. So Isha, Supreme Personality, Avas, residence, plus control. Like we live in this residence wherever we are living, but we don't fully control it. But Supreme Lord not only lives, but he controls as well. So if you can just break into 3 words and then give 1 line answer, that should be enough.
Prabhu, you said Isha as the Lord, but
Yes.
somewhere I think in one of the Prabhupada's books it is written Isha by the Lord, Avasyam controlled.
Yes. So Avas also means residence.
Okay.
Yeah. So control is perfectly correct. Wasn't residence plus control. So like we also reside in our Avas, but we don't control it. But Lord not only resides, but he also controls it. So that's a qualification, extra qualification, you can say, of the Lord than the Jiva.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Sorry,
that's
Prabhu.
also correct what you said. I'm just expanding it so that we understand each word. That's all.
Sir, sorry, Prabhu, can you please
Yes.
tell those 3 words? Isha,
So
Vas,
Isha and Avas, they are 2 words. So
Avas.
Isha means supreme personality of
Yeah.
Godhead. Avas means one who resides and controls it.
Okay, Isha.
Yeah. So many times we understand Avas in Hindi also. We have Avas, that means residence. But Supreme Personality of Godhead is different in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And as I said, I'm not deducting the marks because we have written like that, but it's more complete definition. That's all. Para and apara prakriti, I think everyone understands that one, lower and higher prakriti of Krishna. C, Bhagavad communism. If someone wants to say something very simple. Except Charu Mataji, I think she already explained very well the first one. Someone else can also say. Okay, anyone? Okay, Madhuri Mataji. Sometimes when you say anyone, no one says anything. Madhuri Mataji, you have to say something.
Yes, Prabhu. So basically, communism means there is only one owner and they share among each other. So Bhagavad communism is nothing but here I understanding that the owner and proprietorship of the Lord on this universe, and we all have to living entities. We have to share this universe and do not accept more than what is required. We only required or what is there as per our quota. So that is Bhagavad communism.
Yeah. So basically, in one line, if I have to say, everything belongs to Bhagwan.
The proprietorship of the
Proprietor
Supreme
is
Lord of
Bhagwan.
the
We are not the
Supreme
proprietor.
Personality
As
of
Prabhupada
Godhead.
explains the communism and capitalist. So Prabhupada says communism means everything belongs to community. So when we saying Bhagavad communism, everything belongs to Bhagwan.
Bhagavan.
We can also use it, as you said, but as per our quota.
Quota.
Manmohan Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Yeah. Yes. Priya Mataji.
I just had an example. I wanted to whether we can say that in terms of communists, they think that they own their own country, whereas the devotee thinks in terms of living entities everywhere, whether that be in the sky, land, or water.
Sorry, say again, Mataji. I didn't understand your question.
I said in a normal in a mundane material
Example. Yeah.
example, it's communists. They'll think this is my country, so they own their
Yes.
own country or state, whereas the
Yes.
devotee in terms of the Bhagavad communism thinks that everything does belong to Krishna, and and they also think of all the living entities, whether that living entities in the sky, land, or water. They not just thinking of themselves; they are thinking of every living entity.
Yes, definitely. So everything, and I'm just a part of it, and everything includes everything around me as well. Yeah, that's right, Mataji. Anman Prabhuji, you want to add something else on that?
Example, I think from the book, the cow is the example, I think. So the milk she gives, but she doesn't drink that milk. She eats grass. So her milk is designated as food for human beings.
Hmm.
Only takes her quota of grass and then gives the milk.
Yep.
Example given in the.
Yep. Okay. Next one, Prabhuji.
Okay, Aporashya.
That's pretty straightforward. Not Purusha. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, I think we can move to the next one.
So define karma, karma and vikarma.
Any doubts from anyone? Pretty straightforward. Yes, Prabhuji, next.
Give the English meaning of the term.
Oh, sorry, Prabhu.
Yeah.
One thing, Apaurusheya.
Yeah.
I see this meaning as the words spoken by the Lord are called Apaurusheya, which indicates that they are not delivered by any mundane person.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's correct.
That's correct, right?
Yeah, definitely. Aparushaya, not by Purusha. Purusha of this Prakriti. So in one sense, we are also Prakriti, but it's not made by us, doesn't have the defect.
Okay. So the words spoken by the Lord are called
Yes,
Apaurusheya,
that's right.
which indicates that they are
That's
not
why-
delivered by any mundane
That's why
person.
we call Vedic knowledge Aparushaya, because spoken by the Lord doesn't
Okay.
have those defects, which if I write a book, that book will definitely have defect. It's like 100% defects will be there. But when Krishna is writing, the defect is 0%, always.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, is it Prabhu somewhere we can decode this and remember it in terms of the actual word? So Apurushaya means
Aparushaya. So Aparushaya. So Parushaya, like if we call it Purusha again, Purusha does not refer to just a male or female, the human beings you can say. So whatever compilation we do, whatever we write, whatever we do, it always will have some defects because we are limited. We have this defected defected product. We are defected products. So by company has made us like that, we are all defected mal. अच्छा वाला माल नहीं है, at least in this material world. So from that perspective, whatever we do will be defective as well. Like after we make a software, for example, and after 1 year, the software will have defects. So we'll have to, launch version 2.3 to version 2.4 like that. But Aparushaya, Bhagavad Gita, for example, is always like that. There's no version change there. So that's how we can remember.
Thank you.
Okay, Manmohan Prabhuji, we can, I think, move.
Give the English meaning of the term Atmaha.
Okay,
Oh,
here
we
every
haven't done
devotee,
karma.
he has done it. He's already asked.
Oh.
Yeah. And in this one thing, few devotees, very few, have just written the meaning killer of the soul, which is, as I said, is correct meaning. But I was expecting expansion on it, which is it's not a literal, because if you are explaining to third party who has no knowledge about the context here, he will say killer of the soul. That means killer of the soul. So you have to expand on it, which will say it's not a literal killing of the soul. Because you can't kill the soul. So you have to sort of expand on it and say, okay, it's not a literal meaning, it's a metaphorical meaning, it's an analogy, giving the consciousness of the soul is getting diminished basically by those activities. So please add that if it comes into the exam. Just extra 1.5 or 2 lines to explain it's not a literal, because literal meaning may confuse other people. And that's why we studied Madhvacharya's explanations on this particular word, which we'll read it today again. Okay.
Prabhuji, I'm not sure of my answer because I wrote something in regards to the human body being say the boat, and boat sailing smoothly to
Yeah.
its destination, while the scriptures being the acharyas or the teachers that are compared to the boatmen.
Yes.
And then in that, if a person fails, if the person fails to completely
Yep.
use this
Opportunity.
self-realization,
Yeah.
then they should be regarded as a killer of the soul.
Absolutely. This is a famous verse in 11th canto. I don't remember the verse. And that's what it is. I think Prabhupada also gave the reference of that particular verse. So Acharya or Guru Maharaj, he is the captain of that boat. Body is the boat. And the winds are the scriptural teachings or instructions. So that's absolutely correct. So if we follow that, we are obviously opposite to Atmaha. But if we don't do that, we are Atmaha. So that's absolutely correct. It's a perfect example, actually. So we can also write that verse or the meaning of that verse in your own terms. That's very good, actually. And by that contrasting example, we can present this word very perfectly. If you don't do that, you are Atmaha. That can be different degrees to that. Okay. Manmohan Prabhuji, I think next one we can take.
Define the words Sura and Asura.
It was also a straight, but at the same time, I was expecting little extra. I think it was Ujjwal Rasa Mataji who asked this question the earliest. That was nice. So in Padma Puran, it's explained one who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, he's a Sura. One who is not a devotee, anyone opposite to that is called Asura. So that definition is quite valid, actually. So if you are not a devotee, now we may be very sophisticated person in the society, we may be vegetarian, we may be very respectful, but if you are not a devotee, from this verse perspective, as per Vyasadeva, we are an Asura. Now, Asura can be Asuric tendency, Asura can be a jati, a species, like that. So many things can be done. But the bottom line is, if you're devotee of Lord Vishnu, and a devotee can be an aspiring devotee, that's fine. So we are also in that category. Not obviously we are aspiring devotees. We are not devotees as yet, but we are not the Asuric tendency. We don't have that. We may have a mix of it, but we are aspiring devotees. So one who is not even aspiring to be a devotee, he's an Asura. Straightforward. Now, whatever is external or internal, maybe how good he may be, but he's an Asura. So from that perspective, please explain. Okay. Anyone has
So,
anything else to add?
Prabhu, so
Yeah.
even the worshipper of a demigods is also considered as Asura.
As per this verse, if they are only the worshipper of demigod, and that's why I'm saying you take one context, otherwise can be so many definitions here. Now Prahlad Maharaj is Asura or Sura? He's an Asura actually, but within Asura, he's not Asura. He's not Asuri. He's a devotee, Vibhishan. So from Jati perspective, if you categorize, I'm just saying, from Jati perspective, you'll find many other people like that who does not belong to that Jati. Although Vibhishan is a Rakshasa from that perspective, but he is a Mahajan. Okay, he's not a Mahajan from that perspective, but he's a great devotee, he's a Chiranjeevi. So we have to just take one context, and I prefer this context of Padma Puran, that anyone who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu, and there's a verse, and I can give you the verse if you wanted to, but yeah, just write the meaning of this. And if you're not a Vishnu devotee, you're an Asura. Simple definition, very good. And that can apply on us as well. In the morning, 7 to 8 o'clock, we may be Asura. Before 7 o'clock, we are Asura. So again, the aspiration is 24 hours, we should be Asura. Not right now, the Guru Maharaj said we are mixed. We are Sura and Asura, both. So anyway, but that's a journey. That's what we are doing from Asura to Sura. But this aspiration is there. So take that context and you can explain that very well. And that applies on everyone at every circumstance. And that applies on Vibhishan, that applies on Prahlad Maharaj, that applies on Raman as well, and applies on us as well. So it's pretty wide generic definition from that perspective. If someone else have any more ideas, please share. So raise your hand. Yeah, we're just discussing, and there can be many more better ideas as well. Okay, one more, Prabhuji, I think.
The next one is what is Antaryami?
Pretty straightforward. Some people have just written a translation, which again, please expand on it. Super soul, which is correct answer, is not complete. From Bhagavad Gita, as we understand, 13:23, Updrashta Anumanta Cha. So Upadrashta, most of you have written, which is fine, but Anumanta, he is not just a witness person, he is also allowing us, Anumanta. Without his Anumati, we cannot do, without his permission, we cannot do anything. So Antaryami is not like one who says, look, CCTV can also look at me. I put a CCTV in my room and you can record all my activities. I'm just saying a part of it at least. You can't record my thoughts, but at least you can record pretty well part of my day. But you would not be a permitter as well. So Antaryami is very, very special in that sense. So Super Soul, definitely. And what's the job? Upadrashta Anumanta is witnessing every single thing, every single minute. Plus he allows. Based on his allowance, we get reactions of our karma. We get the guidance, what to do, what not to do. So it's a very, very massive personality in our life, 24/7. Okay, next one. Again, if you want to add something, please do. Yes, Manmohan Prabhu.
Give the English meaning of the phrase Tad Dure Tad Vihantike.
Anyone has any questions? Some people again have written very short half-line answer. Far and near. Again, we have to prove what is far and what is near. And we discussed about all that. So Krishna lives in Goloka, but he also lives with us all the time as Super Soul, which we were discussing earlier. So please expand to 2 lines or 3 lines, and that will present that you really understand it. Manmohan Prabhu, if you also want to add something, please do. I'm just talking, just casually.
You've covered more than what I've written, Prabhu.
I don't, yeah. Whatever comes to my mind, Prabhuji, I'm just sharing here. Okay.
Prabhuji,
If,
I've written, if I can
Yes.
share, I've written the
Sure.
Supreme Personality of Godhead is far in the example is the spiritual world and near in the form of deities.
Actually, near in the form of Super Soul. That's the correct understanding. Super Soul is the most closest to you than anyone else. DT, okay, that's fine, but DT is still a little far from you. But Super Soul is always with you. So Super Soul is the correct answer. Antike,
okay.
near, the example is Super Soul. And Dur, which is fine, you said Golok Vrindavan. Krishna lives in Golok Vrindavan. Through different Purusha incarnations, we can say he is close to us. So Krishna's personal abode is Golok Vrindavan, but Purusha incarnation, he comes close. So Purusha incarnation, first one is Garvodakashayi Vishnu, which is the Atma of the whole material creation. Then we have Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, which is the Atma of this universe. Then we have Shirodakashayi Vishnu, which is the Atma of every single living entity. So in these 3 Purusha avatars, you can say Krishna is very, very close. And No matter, I think Chaitanya Prabhu says in one of his classes, in a very poetic way, which I don't remember, but he said, no matter he is far or near, he discloses himself, he reveals himself to those who are devotees. So from that perspective, he becomes very, very close. For Draupadi, he became very, very close. So no matter he was in Dwaraka or wherever he was, but he appeared for Draupadi, he appeared for Gajendra, and he solved the situation from that perspective. Yeah. So Antike is super soul.
Prabhu, one question. He is close to us as a super soul,
Yes.
but as a Karnodakshaya Vishnu and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he's still far away, isn't it?
He's still
Because
far away, but he's closer than Krishna in Golok Vrindavan.
Yeah.
Huh? So he's in a spiritual world. It's very, very far from that perspective. So same
Yeah.
Krishna has appeared this nearer, nearer, nearer. And who is the nearest is your super soul, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And who is more nearest, as Chaitanya Prabhu says, if you are a surrendered devotee, he can really come and talk to you. Prabhupada said you can talk to Krishna face to face. Now you can say, okay, your super soul, my super soul, at least we can say this example. We have never spoken to super soul, right? Sometimes we think super soul is speaking. Maybe it's our mind is speaking. Oh, you should get angry. This anger is completely valid. It's transcendental. Huh? Sometimes we pad ourselves. Even if we do something bad, we say, no, it's completely Krishna conscious. But who knows? Is your super soul speaking or you speaking? Your mind is speaking. Huh? So for a devotee, like it's more near, you can say. Because devotee, Prabhupada was asked, how do you know what Krishna likes? Prabhupada said, I asked Krishna. The Markeshwar Maharaj said, Prabhupada mean, he knows the books, he knows. Prabhupada said, no, in front of reporters, no, I asked Krishna. The Prabhupada said, I asked Krishna, what do you want? So for that person, you can say, Krishna is even more closer because he is completely surrendered to the Lord. So for a normal person, super soul is the nearest. For a devotee, Krishna residing in Golok Vrindavan becomes most revealed to him. He can talk to Krishna anytime, anywhere. And Krishna is personally there to guide him.
Prabhu, I'm a little
There's
confused. A
degrees
little
here. Yes, Mataji.
that you're saying the DT.
Mataji, you're on mute.
Sorry, you're saying the DTs are not as close as
As the
the
super soul.
super soul is also present
Nearest.
within.
But if
Near.
you're a complete surrendered devotee, Krishna becomes, then you can say DT, Krishna in Golok Vrindavan becomes even more closer to you because you're completely surrendered to Krishna.
So it depends on your level of surrender.
Depends on your level of surrender. But for a normal person, you can say super soul is the nearest, who may not be 0% surrendered. For that person also, he's abusing Krishna, but super soul is still there. He doesn't have to do anything. Super soul is still the nearest, but he's not revealed in his life.
I mean, obviously, Prabhupada did even the DTs are.
Yes,
but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he's rather going DTs. He's saying, no, my Guru Maharaj is always with me. DTs are always with me. So that's a very, very high level we are talking. But if you talk a first answer, super soul is the first answer. For a devotee, 100% surrendered, Krishna. Now that can be in the form of your personal DTs. Yeah, whatever you aspire for. It can be Kurmadev, it can be Narsingadev, it can be Krishna with 200 form. For Arjun is 200 form Shyamsundar Krishna. For Hanumanji is Lord Ram. Lord Ram is the closest. For Hanumanji, he doesn't care about super soul. Prabodhana Saraswati says in his book, I don't even care about super soul. Now, he's a devotee talking, right? He's not a normal. We have to understand the context. He said, for me, Nanda Maharaj is everyone. Because in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna is playing. So I am a worshipper of Nanda Maharaj. So for him, you can say Nanda Maharaj is the closest because he has that mood, Vatsalya Bhav for Krishna. So then it varies on your mood. Okay. So just trying to present the whole spectrum from one end to another end. Okay. Manmohan Prabhu, please, I think you can proceed.
The English meaning of the terms ekvatvam anupashyata.
This is a very interesting one. Many devotees have written different things. Again, the simple answer is, okay, someone else should say, I'm speaking a lot. I shouldn't be.
So it's oneness in quality, that's ekatvam, and anupashyata of one who sees through authority, or
Yes.
one who is constantly like that.
Yes.
So yeah, it says in the book that 80% of the qualities of the Lord we also have,
Yeah.
but very minute in quantity. So that is ekvatam. So we are similar in quality, but different in quantity.
Yeah.
And pashyati means to observe. This word, so anu means to follow, and pashyati means to observe.
Yeah.
So the word anupashyati then means that we should see not we should not see things through a naked eye, but through the vision of the acharyas. So the knowledge that is coming down the disciplic succession, through that knowledge we should be seeing the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah, that's correct. Anyone else want to add anything?
Yeah, there is the oneness of purpose or interest between the devotees and the Lord, because both are trying to serve each other in every sense.
Yeah, that expansion is nice. Anyone else?
And also here the great devotee sees this in the sense that he sees everything as the energy of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. Yep. So there's so many sense we can see the oneness, the similarity. As I explained the example of Indian Prime Minister and myself or anyone else, we'll have so many similarities in between them, but they're two different persons. You can't just say, okay, because you have 20 similarities, so one equals to another one. We can't say that. Okay, I think we got the idea. Shuddham, apapa, vidham. Anyone else can say? Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, if you are here. I thought everyone can say one questions. Okay. Vijay
Can
Gopi
I say,
Mataji.
Prabhu?
Charu Mataji, I'm thinking of everyone should participate. That perspective. Vijay Gopi Mataji.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. So Shuddham Apapa Vidham is like Shuddham is pure, Apapa Vidham is uncontaminated. So I've written as Lord is antiseptic in that sense, like even impure things, when he touches, it becomes pure. Like for example, even our prasadam, we can say like when we are offering, like it's like we are offering boha, but when Lord sees that, it becomes pure.
Yes.
So we can give that example as well, Prabhu.
Yeah. And also when we get in touch with him, we don't even desire to do bad things. So one is to correct the disease and one is to not get the disease. So that's very important. So if you go to doctor, you have some disease, doctor give you some medication, and then your disease may go away after 1 week or something. But one thing is to cure the disease, one is to prevent the disease itself. So the prevention is even higher in that sense.
Yeah,
So if you are
prophylactic.
prophylactic, yes. So if you are in association of the Lord or his devotees, you'll not even get the disease. That's really nice. And that's what we are trying. That is like a permanent solution. Otherwise, every time you get disease, you have to call Manmohan Prabhu, Manmohan Prabhu. Which is very nice. He's very nice devotee. But he will say, okay, हर बार पकोड़ा खाते हैं, आइसक्रीम खाते हैं, बीमार पड़ जाते हैं, फिर कॉल करते हैं. So it's better. He will say, Prabhuji, can you stop pakoda? Maybe once in a week. That's nice. So you don't even get the disease. So that's very nice of the Lord. Okay.
Association with the Lord and His holy name prevents us from doing sinful activities or sense gratificatory activities, basically. So He keeps us away from pap.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Priya Mataji.
And also association of the devotees, right? Association of the
of?
Lord, which is the devotional service, and association of the devotees.
Yes, that's right. So holy name, devotional service, the scriptures, all of them. Because Lord comes with all this. He's in a package format. So Lord is never alone. Yes, Priya Mataji.
I was just thinking of a past time where I shouldn't say impure, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu um touched the man with the leprosy, whether is that
Gopal
something?
Chapal?
Yeah.
Gopal Chapal, okay.
So, but I don't know whether that we should say that he is not impure, but he has a disease. But
Okay, there are, I think, 3 examples of leprosy in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but if you're talking about, say, Gopal Chapal, so Gopal Chapal was impure. His thoughts were impure. He criticized Haridas Thakur. And he said, Haridas Thakur, your understanding of Shastra is not correct. Because Haridas Thakur was saying, getting liberation by chanting the holy name is a byproduct. And what Gopal Chapal was saying, no, this is the highest benefit of chanting the holy name. So he was wrong, actually. And he said, if you are right, Haridas Thakur, and I am wrong, let my nose fall off. To his no surprise, after 1 week, his nose started falling off. So he had impurities in his mind, in his understanding, which got corrected this way. But later on, it was fine.
Can we
So
take
we can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'll just finish this thought. Sanatan Goswami also got, not the leprosy, but he got a disease where he had pus all over his body, and the pus was coming out very badly. He was in a lot of painful situation of Sanatan Goswami. Now, in this sense, Sanatan Goswami was not suffering a reaction, but somehow Lord arranged to do that. And eventually, the long story short, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu trying to embrace Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami is like, please don't embrace me. Please don't embrace me. Because, you have all this disease pus in your body. And why would you want Lord to touch you? But Lord embraced him. And everything got cured of Sanatan Goswami. So in this situation, we cannot say because he had impurity. No, that was Lord arrangement. Why Prabhupada got heart attack? Lord's arrangement. Like when we get heart attack or something like that, 99%, it's our reaction. It's not Lord's arrangement. It's our reaction of the karma. But in devotees' cases, it is the Lord's arrangement. So yes, so in some situation, it will be Lord's arrangement. Some situation, it will be an impurity. Okay.
So can that example be given of that, the first one that you
For
talked about?
yes, you can give. Yeah, if you have time, please just give the names. So impurity of the mind is the biggest thing. And by association of the Lord and his pure devotees, the impurity of mind goes away. Like body-wise, we are not so impure. Okay, we are little impure, but our mind is impure. And we have to clean our mind. That's the biggest job. And that's what we are trying to do actually right now. We're not trying to become intellectual by reading all these verses and cramming the verses for the exam, which is a part of the purificatory process. So if our mind is clean, everything is clean. So yes, Mataji, you can.
Even like Haridas Thakur was with how the prostitute came and then she got
Yes, nice example. Yep. So if not only Lord, you're right. Even devotees are so powerful of the Lord that they can purify the mind of a very, very impure person. Another example which comes to my mind, Prabhupada converted hippies to happies. Hippies practically had no qualification, externally speaking. They had no qualification. All they have disqualification. I think Chaitanya Prabhu said the only regulative principle they had is to break all the regulative principles. That was the only regulative principles. So they were externally very, very fallen, but Prabhupada converted them into Param Vaishnavas, Param Vaishnavas. So yeah, that's the example of Lord and his devotees. They are
Hare
so
Krishna.
powerful. Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, even one example in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada gives like sun and the place where there is
Yes.
urine.
Yes, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. So sun doesn't get contaminated because he's sucking the impure urine or stool. The place get purified actually. Yeah, good example. Yes, so many examples are there. Okay, yes, Akhand Rasa Prabhu. Priya Mataji, you're okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Akhand
yeah.
Rasa Prabhu and Mataji.
We talked about the prophylactic effect on us, and also the Lord Himself, apapa with them, we can say that the sin cannot touch him. So he is all pure, all good. So even though it may appear that he is performing some activity which is not good, it is still all pure. We cannot understand it, but Lord's everything about him is all pure. And just
Absolutely.
like you mentioned about the example of the sun, so just
Yeah.
as the sun, even though he touches all the bad things, he's
Yes.
still impure things. He's still pure. So in the same
Yes.
manner, the Lord is also all pure.
Absolutely. And that's a very good example because many times, many people judge Krishna or Ram as well. And they say, okay, he did this wrong, he did that wrong. But excuse me, you're judging him from your perspective. An example given in Shastra is, if you are standing on a red light, for example, there's a red light, you stopped your car or scooter or whatever, and you see an aeroplane passing by from your head. and you'll say, "Arey, pagal ho gaya hai." This pilot has gone mad. He doesn't see red light, but pilot doesn't have to follow the red light. Huh? You have to follow. Now you cannot say, "Oh, pilot is not following the red light. I will also not follow the red light." No, pilot has his own rules. You have your own rule. You have to stop, and pilot doesn't have to stop. If he stops, what will happen? You will die. He stops on your head, you will die. So we have to understand the situation of Lord. Many times we judge the activities of the Lord on our platform. And definitely he married 16,108 queens, and people have so many statements about it. But can you do that? You can't. You can't. But he did it, and he maintained them so well. And this example in Bhagavatam, even in Isopanishad. So he has a different situation. That's why if you have to understand the Lord, you have to rise yourself to the level of Lord. Like Indian Prime Minister, he doesn't have to stop at the toll gate. Prabhupada gave this example, Prime Minister or Minister. We have to stop at the toll gate, give the toll 50 rupees or whatever. Prime Minister doesn't have to stop. He will pass through. Is he doing pap? No. He doesn't. So similarly, Prime Minister have extra rights. What to speak of Bhagavan, Lord? So yeah, very good example. Okay, should we move forward?
So how is the Lord unembodied?
I think in this group, it's pretty straightforward question. Maybe in other groups. Priya Mata, you have something to say on this one, or is a previous raised hand? No problem. I think it's a previously raised.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No problem. No problem. Yes, Manmohan, Prabhuji, we can.
Give the English meaning of the name Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah, everyone got that one right. It's a very straightforward. Hiranya and Kashyapu. Okay, next one.
Miseries of the material world serve to indirectly remind us.
Yes, this question, some devotees have got right. Some devotees, I would say, not incorrect, but incomplete. So, anyone else want to say a line? Prasanatma Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Do you like to say one or two line, whatever comes to your mind? It's not a test, just say whatever comes.
Yeah, I had written this this material world is not a right place. That's one example of
Yes.
I gave Dukalaya Mashashrutam.
Yes.
So it's a place of misery, so we are not supposed to just
So what does
spend
it
our time.
remind us? Is a place of misery, but what does it remind us? Two things.
Mhm.
One is we don't belong here. Because we want pleasure, and this material world hardly gives us pleasure. It gives a lot of promises of pleasure, a lot of promises. If you do this, you'll become happy. If you buy this, you become happy. You get to this place, you become happy. We hardly become any happy. So first thing is we don't belong here because we have this eternal longing of being happy, which doesn't exist in this world. And the second thing is we belong somewhere else. So one is to get out, and second is, so one is to get out. This you can equate with impersonalism, Mayavad. Get out of the material world, which is fine, but it's not complete. Get out of the jail, it's fine. But where is your home? Where do you go after jail? So we don't belong here, and we belong to some other place. If you find a feeling which I can't remember the exact phrase. Keshav Maharaj or Chaitanya Prabhu said that if you have a feeling which is not getting fulfilled outside, that means you don't belong here. And that feeling exists for something else, for somewhere else. We have this eternal longing of love, Prabhupada said. Love means service. We want to serve. Even many Australians or many Westerns, they're serving dogs and cats. They don't have any humans to serve. So they serve dogs and cats. But there's a tendency in every single human being to get some service and to serve someone else. We have that. So it's a loving reciprocation feeling we all have. So two things basically. We don't belong here. So it reminds us we belong somewhere else. Durga Devi Ji is saying the Tritap of Durga Ji, that trident or Trishula, get out from here, get out from here, get out from here. But we will say, हम नहीं जाएंगे, नहीं जाएंगे, नहीं जाएंगे. Will not get out, will not get out, will not get out. So we have a constant incompatibility. Kitna bhi trouble though, no matter how many trouble comes, we never leave our asha, hope. That one day we'll become happy in this material world. One day I will surely become happy. I just have to get this project successful. Just this person, this man, this woman, this money, this position, this dress, this car, whatever. Then I will become happy. I am sure about it. I'm sure about it. So this constant misery is reminding us we will never be happy here because we are at the wrong place. So two things you can mention in your answer. Madhuri Mataji, you want to add something?
Human life is the great only opportunity for us to engage ourselves in devotional service and then get out of this material cycle.
So basically getting out should be mentioned because this is what the misery should remind you. Like if you're miserable and you're in hospital, so doctor will say, next time don't take alcohol or cigarette, or whatever it may be. Huh? So then you'll not suffer like this. So your misery should be able to remind you. And many times, if not all the times, you're completely blind to those reminders, completely blind. Krishna sends so many reminders all around us. We're still like, I'm happy. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Complete lie. Complete 100% lie. How are you? Everyone will say, I'm fine, mate. Fine. Really? How was the weekend? Great. Great. Acha. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Manmohan Prabhu, again, if you want to add something from your perspective, please do.
Nothing to add, already.
Sure. Okay. So last question we can take.
Give the English meaning of the term Hiranmayana Patrina.
Anyone else? Okay. I think everyone did it right. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's move to our revision. We have like 1 hour.
We don't have any questions from 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18. So many verses, we don't have questions.
Fine. You create your own questions or answers. Some homework MIT has given you. सब कुछ दे देंगे तो फिर पढ़ने के लिए बचेगा क्या? Okay, yeah. So again, these are the important verses, important concepts. So they have given questions on that. Once you have sort of gone through these main concepts and main questions, then obviously you have to look through your next one, which is the main notes which you have discussed in the class, the yellow portions. Yes, Madhuri Mataji.
So here, last question. We'll give the meaning, but what if we have to give 1 or 2 lines? What would
you can say, Lord is a person, he has a dazzling effulgence in front of him, and the devotee is praying to Lord to please remove the dazzling effulgence so that he can have the darshan, personal darshan of the Lord.
Okay, so perceive. Okay.
This one was pretty straightforward. Devotees have written the meaning.
I have got that lines as well, but yeah.
No, that's okay. Okay, let's move to our revision. We have like 1 hour. I don't know how far I will go. I'm not so believer of fast runner, but we'll see how we go. So it's just a simple slides, which I've just put some shlokas together. Again, simple Isopanishad shlokas, and we'll see whatever concepts come to our mind. I'll try to go through it. Okay, so initially, if you remember, we discussed about this slide. Most of you will remember. I'll just rediscuss it very quickly. So Vedic knowledge can be divided into 2 parts, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti, as people were discussing, which is heard from the Lord and presented in the books as it is. Smriti, which is heard from the Lord and assimilated and elaborated his own realizations, added and then presented in the books. So in Shruti, we have Vedas, Upavedas, and Vedangas. Within Vedas, we have Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyak, and Upanishad. And there, how many Upanishads are there? Anyone remembers? Anyone can say. You can be unmuted, it's fine. Just speak, because I like discussion. Then we learn. 108. Anyone else want to answer this question as well? Namaskar, Prabhu. Somehow we can't hear you. Just after your initiation, your Vani has become transcendental. So we can't hear the words. Okay. Okay. Anyone else want to answer that question quickly? So, okay, Sundar Gopal Prabhu.
Uh,
I thought
1100.
1130.
1100. Okay.
30.
1130. Thank you. Anyone else want to answer that question? Sorry, asking so that you will remember in future. So, someone want to challenge these two answers, and that's fine. Even if you're wrong, just say it. It's okay. Manmohan Prabhu.
I think though there are more, but only 108 are the important ones.
Okay, good answer.
11 are the main.
No,
11 are the main.
there are more, only 1130 are available at the moment.
Oh, that's really nice. No,
I don't know.
1130 is the whole pool. Out of it, we says 108. Some say 200. Some say the number are even higher. So again, it's not a question for exam. I'm just discussing because my purpose is not just exam. So yes, there are 108. It's a generic answer. And out of 108, they say somewhere you will find 11 are most important. Prabhupada has written 11. Somewhere else you'll also find 10 are most important. Anyway, so the list is given. 11 are more important. 108 is also correct. 200 is also correct. 1130 is also correct because the logic is given. Now, we don't have obviously available. We only have like 5% available or 10% available at this stage. Anyway, so I thought. So Upanishad, what does Upanishad mean? Anyone else can say? Who has not spoken as yet? What is Upanishad? Boliye. Shraddha Mataji, sorry, you're on the top of the screen.
Prabhu, I'm not very sure, but is it sitting near a teacher or like
Yes, sitting near. You are saying something else?
a connection or sitting near a teacher?
Yes, Mother, you're right. You're right. Yes, sitting near a teacher, sitting near a spiritual master to understand the absolute truth. So, Upanishad. So, Upa is close, as we have word Upavas. Nishad. So, Ni is down. Shad means to sit down close to a spiritual master to understand the nature of absolute truth. Thank you, Mataji. Now, Upanishad. What is the qualification of Upanishad? So, the meaning. What's the qualification of Upanishad? How do you define Upanishad? What is it in Upanishad? If someone asks you this question, what is in Upanishad? Meaning is correct. You sit near a spiritual master. But what does Upanishad talk about? If you have to answer this in 1 or 2 lines.
Making you to think deeper.
Okay.
It
Yes,
deals with
that is correct.
philosophy. Absolutely.
It deals with the philosophy. Yes. Which philosophy we are talking?
It takes
There are
closer
many,
to
many
Krishna.
philosophy.
I mean,
It's
Takes us closer
philosophical
to
subject
Krishna.
matter.
Philosophical subject matter.
The
Which?
supplements to Vedas.
Supplements to Vedas, thank you. So they are the supplement to Vedas, which teaches philosophy, which brings us closer to Krishna.
Krishna.
One more point, important point. Upanishad start where material world ends. So Vedas many times talk about many mundane activities. You do this yajna, you go to Indraloka and enjoy all that, right? Upanishad stop talking about there. So you have done all the heavenly enjoyment, you're still not happy. So Upanishad start from where material world ends. Now, they are not straightforward in their language. In one sense, you can say they are in between personal aspect of Krishna and impersonal aspect of Krishna. They start to make you think deeper, and then you are ready to accept the personal knowledge. So they are body of transition, you can say. Very important. So they don't talk about mundane benefits, going to Swargaloka, Brahmaloka, and all that. But they're very philosophical. Many times they do not present the things directly. But Isopanishad is one of those Upanishad which presents the things almost directly. It doesn't mention the word Krishna or Narayan or Hari directly, but it's very sort of obvious by reading these verses. Krishna is a person, or God is a person, absolute truth is a person. Okay, so we need to know what's the definition. Okay, all this is okay. I'll not go in detail here. Okay, let's move forward. Introduction to Isopanishad. So this is Prabhupada lecture. Now, before we go to introduction, just one quick thing, just to remind all of us. So Isopanishad was not written as a book by Prabhupada. He had written different articles in BTG before going to America. And BBT has taken all those articles and compiled this as book. And for the book, they needed introduction. So they took one Prabhupada lecture on Isopanishad in London in some hall, Conway Hall or something, I can't remember. So they have taken that lecture as the introduction to this book. So Prabhupada has not like written this introduction. It's just a lecture transcription which we use as the introduction to Upanishad. Now, Prabhupada talks about a few concepts. I think it's pretty straightforward. 4 defects, universal and axiomatic. I think Manmohan Prabhu already explained that concept. They are universal. Universal means they are applicable at all the time. It's not only applicable for America or India or Europe. No, it's universal. It is applicable for everyone. It's applicable for Indraloka, Brahmaloka, Yamaloka, Pitraloka, as well as Manushaloka. And axiomatic wisdom, you can't really prove it many things, but you just have to accept it. We discussed about it earlier. Vedic knowledge superior, we discussed about that as well. So Prataksha and Anuman. Krishna, only way to know is transcendental realm. We know about ultimate goal of the Vedas, 1515, we can say here, history of Vedas and Vedic essence. Okay, let's skip those things. Now, let's do a quick overview of this Isopanishad. We have discussed it earlier. Just one sheet, quick glance of the whole book. So we have invocation. Anyone can tell one quality of invocation prayer of Isopanishad?
The Lord is complete.
Purna.
Okay. Lord is Purna. Yes. Okay, we'll come to that. I wanted, I should re-ask my question. A context of invocation. So what you said is correct. That's the meaning of invocation prayers. Context. So there is no invocation in Isopanishad. There is no invocation. There is no such thing. If you look for a Vedic book, Isopanishad, you will not find invocation there. But Prabhupada book, you will find invocation there. So this invocation prayer does not belong technically to Isopanishad. We should be very clear. So if someone comes and challenges you, we accept it. Yep, it doesn't belong there. In this book, it's relevant. So Prabhupada has put it there. It's relevant to the understanding of the book. That's why. Now, this invocation prayer also comes in Mahabharata. It also comes in other Vedic literature as well. Same words. It also comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto. I can't remember the verse number, but it's there. I can find it. Almost similar. I think there's one word which is different. Same. So this invocation prayer, which we read in this book, is not a technical part of the book. We should be very clear on that. Okay. Now it says, Lord and his energies are perfect and complete. Mantra 1 to 3, the theme is Ishavasya principle, harmony and disharmony. We'll read about it.
So, Prabhu, what is the context, Prabhu, here? Said for invocation.
Invocation is not a technical part of the Isopanishad. We should be not forgetting that part.
Oh, but what is the context? Is that
context because it's relevant to the understanding of the book.
Okay.
That's why it's been put there. So
Okay.
Can
first
we
thing
say
Prabhupada explains what is the position of that Lord, what is the position of the energies of the Lord, what is the position of
Yes.
living entity. Once we understand that, then we can understand the Ishavasya principle very well, which is in Mantra 1.
But,
Yes, Priya
yeah.
Mataji.
I
You're
was
saying
just going
something.
to say, Prabhu, I'm not sure, but yeah, because the Lord is, we realize we see the Lord as the absolute truth in His complete form. So He's not
Yes.
formless. That's why.
That is not technically explained in this, but it says Lord is complete. Now, complete meaning, you can say implicit meaning here is you have a face, you have a body, then you are complete. The energy has to come from energetic. If energy is there, energetic has to be there. So it's not explicitly mentioned, it's an implicit understanding, which is correct. Complete means complete. Now, when I say a human being is complete, so we understand, he has 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs. We don't have to say one by one. So he has a personality, he's complete, and he's healthy, he has enough money, he has enough mental satisfaction and all those things. So it's implicitly there in that verse. Okay, so mantra 4 to 5, they talk about the inconceivable characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we'll see Tad Dure Tad Antike. We're discussing about that. So we'll discuss about that. The Mahabhagavad vision. Once we have the understanding of the inconceivable characteristics of the Lord, then we can understand the Lord and the things related to the Lord. That is discussed in 6 to 8. 9 to 14, they take a big portion of Isopanishad. There are 6 verses. So 3 deals with Vidya and Avidya. all three verses, we'll see these two words coming back again and again. And 12 to 14, we see demigod worship versus Supreme Lord worship, Sambhuti and Asambhuti. And if you compare 9 with 11, it's exactly same. Sorry, 9 with 12, 10 with 13, and 11 with 14. They're exactly same verses, just these two words are replaced. And last section, 15 to 18, 4 verses, devotee's prayer to the Lord to reveal himself. And please accept me, basically. So prayers of acceptance to the Lord. Okay. And we also have this classification, Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Sambandha means when you're establishing the relationship with the Lord. So the verses for that topic is invocation, mantra 4, 5, 8, and 14. Abhideya, the process, the devotional service is mantra 1 to 3, 9, 11, 15 to 18. And Prayojan verses are, which is the ultimate goal, 6, 7, 10, 12, and 13. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, sorry, just reading the purport, and I was just trying to comprehend that also that because when we talk about, because it is saying here that uh, that sorry, like the Lord is Purnam also, so he's not subjected to the nature, the material nature, so he's the
Yes.
controller. So yeah, in that way he's Purnam and complete.
Yes, see, the Lord is never material. So Lord is
Okay.
always spiritual. His everything is a spiritual. And in that perspective, Prabhupada said there's nothing which is a matter. Everything is spirit. Because the origin of matter is also in spirit. So Lord is definitely completely spiritual all the time. Okay, so this is the verse. So I'll just quickly read it. I'll not read every verse, but this verse I can read. It's very nice. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. So Lord is complete, his energies are complete, and anything which comes out of that complete is also complete. And here Lord Prabhupada actually gives two examples of the material energy of the Lord. Like he has created all these material universes and they are complete. Now we are not lacking in anything, like Prithvi, Earth, for example, is complete. Lord has given everything for a human, in this example, to survive. Nothing is lacking. In our body as well, everything is sort of complete. But our completeness is dependent on the Lord, and Lord is independently complete. So we are also complete, but we are dependent complete, and Lord is independent complete. So in that sense, and everything which comes out of Lord does not reduce the Lord. So 1 minus 1 here equals to 1. So Lord is not like, okay, he has given $100 million to a devotee, now he has $100 million less. Nothing like that. So no matter how much he gives out, he's exactly same. And we gave the example of Karanodakshai Vishnu. Millions of universes comes out of his body, goes back and merges into his body. He's exactly same lying. He doesn't become big or small or skinny. Nothing like that. Okay. Now section 2, as we discussed, is the Ishavasya principle, 1, 2, 3. So we have these 3 verses here. I can't remember how many verses are there. Rupam Nam Avatar Prabhu here. I think number 1 must be there. So please remember that. Sundar Gopal Prabhu is saying yes. So Ishavasedam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjita Ma Gridha Kasya Svidharam. So basically, one line, one word answer if you have to give of mantra 1 is Ishavasya principle. And what is Ishavasya principle? We discussed earlier when we're discussing the closed book answers. Sorry, the open book answers. So there says Ishavasya means Isha, Supreme Lord, is a controller of every single thing. He resides in everything and he controls everything. And we are allowed to use those things which actually belongs to Lord, but as per our quota. And if we do this quota system in everything, everything will be perfect. One example which comes to my mind, Ukraine war, for example. Or there's so many wars happening around because they are not following the quota system. This one country want to usurp the resources of another country as well. And they want to attack, they want to make so many troubles, and they don't care what's happening to those humans, people, or resources there. They just want to take them under their authority. So anyway, one example. And also Prabhupada says, if we take more than what is in our quota, then someone is getting less. I think when Acharya gave example, if there are three things, 3 plates of prasadam, for example. And if I take 2 plates of prasadam and there are 3 people, so one people has to be hungry, or one person will get less. So if you follow the quota system, yes, 1 plate of prasadam is for me and I can take it. Manmohan Prabhu gave example of cow very nicely. So cow gives milk, but cow does not consume that milk. Cow eats grass. Grass is the quota of cow. Milk is the quota of mostly humans. A little part goes to the cow, which is fine, but it goes to human and human can consume it. That's not a problem, but we don't have to kill the cow for that. So many other examples. So basically, this mantra is very, very important. And because of this mantra, this Isopanishad is named as Isopanishad because the word Ishavasya comes in this verse. Yes, Vijay
So,
Gopi Mataji or Prabhu.
sorry.
Yes.
Prabhu, I have a question. Like you said, he resides here.
Yes.
Generally, we say that Vishnu or Lord Krishna is nowhere connected to the material world, you know. So how do we understand that, Prabhu?
Okay.
And whereas here it says controlled and owned.
Absolutely. So the word Vishnu is defined as Sarve Vishati iti Vishnu. Sarve Vishati. Vishati means one who resides everywhere. So actually the meaning of word Vishnu is one who resides everywhere. If he does not reside, we can't call him Vishnu. So Vishnu has to be there. And as per Brahma Samhita, we know he resides in every atom and in the space in between 2 atoms. So now you can say, where is the space? Yes, there is no space, but there is still a space between 2 atoms where Vishnu also resides. So Vishnu does reside. Now, when we say Krishna has nothing to do with the material nature, the meaning is Krishna does not directly participate in the functioning of material nature. Example is Ratan Tata, one example. Ratan Tata is the boss of a big company. He has many subsidiary companies. He has many employees. So in one sense, he's the controller of every single thing which is happening in his company. But in one sense, he's not involved in day-to-day details. His managers and CEOs, they will look after all those things. He will just ask report. So Durga Devi, what's happening? Brahmaji, what's happening? Dwarka Leela, we know. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmaji came. Brahmaji was asked, so which Brahma you are? Oh, which Brahma? What do you mean? There are many Brahmas? Yes, there are unlimited Brahmas. So he gets reporting from those Brahmas. It is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So from that perspective, we say, not from a technical perspective, but from practical perspective. Krishna doesn't interfere in Durga Devi's job. Like if I'm getting trouble in my life, who's responsible? Durga ji is making the trouble. Again, I'm responsible. Durga ji is giving the reaction. Now, Krishna does not come interfere. Hey, Durga ji, what are you doing? If he wants, he can, but he doesn't interfere. So from that perspective, we say, like we say, from Tattva perspective, Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. But from Rasa perspective, Radharani is higher than Krishna. But Radharani comes from Krishna. But that's Rasa perspective versus Tattva perspective. So practical and technical.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Ujjwala Samataji or Akhanda Prabhu.
Quick question about the quota. I'm always a little puzzled about this quota thing. How do we exactly know what the quota is? So in my head, I feel in simple terms, we can say that if one works hard for his family, for the maintenance, to maintain the body and soul together, without neglecting the spiritual life, whatever comes his or her way, that's quota. Is that correct?
That's incomplete understanding of the word quota. As soon as we say word quota, we start interpreting is what our so-called material understanding of the word quota is. So we have to understand these words quite deeply. Yes, what you said is correct, but the quota system is every aspect of your life. So if I have to translate it into English in one line, your guru's instruction is your quota. That's what it is. Now, what you're eating in your dinner today, Prabhu, I'm satisfied with 2 chapatis only. 2 chapatis for Prabhuji, 2 chapatis for me. Yeah, that's fine, but there's a very gross understanding of the word quota. So quota is your guru's instruction, is your quota. Now, Prabhupada, for example, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj gave him a quota. You should go and preach in Western countries in English language. Prabhupada could have just written some books in English. And yes, he's preaching through his books. Absolutely. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also did that. He sent his books to London libraries. Prabhupada could have gone to America and make one disciple. So quota has to be understood very well. Not just what comes in your plate or what's in your bank account today, which you explained is right. Quota is much deeper than that. So quota should not be some material gross matter things. No, quota system is what you're thinking also You can cross your quota. Renuka Devi, Jamdagni Rishi's Patni, she crossed her quota. Jamdagni Rishi realized, and he said to Parashuram, kill your mother. She crossed her limits there. Now, if we apply that quota system in today's world, we'll not be sitting here. How many times we cross our limits? Not only in the mind, we cross our limits in our chastity to our Guru and Krishna, in our hands, in our words. So quota system actually is everywhere. Every single thing which you are supposed to do, that is your quota. Now, how do you know your quota? Come back again, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra will define your quota, your boundaries. You can see your boundaries, what you should do, what you should not do. Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj said in one class, he said, if your spiritual master does not allow you to breathe, you should not breathe. That's how a disciple should be. Now, how many of us can even think about that? If spiritual master don't say, don't breathe, you should not breathe. You should just die. Veer Krishna Maharaj, we saw him last week only. He said very nice thing, very high. He said, when a spiritual master leaves, disciples should also leave with him. If you cannot live with your spiritual master, you should at least follow the instruction of your spiritual master. You'd help him in his mission. He said that the first thing, and he said, Prabhupada said this, when a spiritual master leaves, you should leave. My God. So all the disciples of the spiritual master should just go. You cannot stay here because you love your Guru, at least in theory, you love your Guru. But if you cannot leave, and Maharaj said, added this, which is a higher version, you should fulfill the instruction of your spiritual master. You should help him in your mission. That is quota. That is quota. So bank account, plate, prasadam, very preliminary understanding of the word quota. And this is what we are talking actually, which we should understand. Now, one example is given in Isopanishad booklet, somewhere it's given, I can't remember, in my booklet or your booklet. Can I use your soap without your permission? That's the question they have asked. Has anyone read this question? It was in my assignments, I remember that. Can I use your soap without your permission? I'm like, come on. No, you can't. You can't. It's out of your quota. I have to have your permission. Now, when I go to your house, it's quite understood, if you are allowing me in your house, I can use your soap in the bathroom. I don't have to, Mataji, can I use your soap? Can I use your water? But the point here is, this is how much you have to think. How many times we think? We just take things by default. Ye utha lo. Nahi, utha lo, karma utha rahe hain aap. You're just taking karma. How many times we think like that? So again, it's just fine-tuning your thinking. And that should go Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and eventually your Guru's instruction, unlimited. Keshav Maharaj said in one class, as we were saying, Prabhupada could have made one disciple and say, Guru Maharaj, I fulfilled your instruction, bye-bye America, going to Vrindavan. But he's saying he's reiterating the instruction of his spiritual master again and again and again. I haven't fulfilled the instruction of my spiritual master. That is what his quota is. That is what his quota is. So we have to just redefine this word in our mind.
Yeah, it's much more deeper than
Much more
what
deeper.
initially,
Yeah. That plate, prasad, and bank account, that's definitely, like Prabhupada said, 4 regulative principles makes you human, not a devotee. Not a devotee. I'm vegetarian. Prabhupada, okay. Monkey is also vegetarian. Pigeon is also vegetarian. So what? Okay. Priya Mataji. Just 1 second before I answer you, Priya Mataji. I think if we discuss like this, we'll never finish. It may go on for 4 or 5 hours, which I personally don't mind. I think some people will mind. Can we go through this and we can have the questions later?
Yes, Prabhu. It's
Okay.
just a quick question, Prabhu.
Yes.
Just a quick one. That so in the transcendental platform, so we are not looking on the gross platform.
But we
But
start from there, as Ujjwala Samataji was saying, we start from there. At least in bank account, we should have honesty. In prasadam or in your home, we should have honesty. So we start from there. And then we proceed.
So in that way, is minimum 16 round our quota? Or we do that?
Okay, Prabhupada said, I can only repeat, I have no authority to say anything, minimum 16 rounds is your quota. Gopal Krishna Maharaj, for example, minimum 25 on Ekadashi. That's Maharajas are saying, so what can I say? So Now, one more thing I want to add here. Lal Govind Prabhu said, and I really like that point. Lal Govind Prabhu said, if you're offending Vaishnavas, if you're doing all the nonsense and chanting 16 rounds, rather you chant 8 rounds and do the right thing. And I really like his point. So not just chanting 16 rounds and being proud about it. Yes, I'm 16 rounds. You only chant 2 rounds. Or speaking harsh words to others, or doing some harsh things for other devotees or even for other humans. Okay, you reduce your rounds and be humble. Last time I was talking about humility. Humility is the basis for our, it will find the foundation of our sadhana. If you're not humble in our mind, then actually we can't do anything. We may apparently be doing many things, many big projects for Prabhupada, this and that, but actually we are not doing anything. So we have to have a right foundation and then we build on it. Many times we achieve few things in spiritual terms, I'm saying, and we feel very proud about it. You actually killed the whole purpose. You killed the whole purpose. So from that perspective, I would say 16 rounds is your quota, can be again redefined. Chant less rounds, be humble devotee. When we associate with someone, you go to someone's house, you should really relish your association. Oh, thank you, Prabhuji, for coming, from her or his heart. That's nice. I was speaking to someone yesterday, just random in the temple. Yesterday was Sunday, I guess. Yes, yeah. One random person I met with, and he was praising another devotee very profusely. I was so happy. I was so happy. He was really saying, this person helped me in my spiritual life so much. He changed my life. For 15 minutes, he was glorifying this devotee. I said, this is real praise. This is what we have to aspire for. He touched his heart. His and his family was touched by this person. Years and years of effort. And this person was praising this third person by heart. That's really nice. Even if you're chanting 8 rounds or 12 rounds, I think this is the right progress. Okay, sorry, just few thoughts on that. Foundation has to be built on humility. We are not so great. We are not so great. But acharyas are great. These books are great. And the association of devotees is great. And I should also try to assist these great people in our little way. And then we may also become at least good, if not great. Okay, that's just a foundation thing. Okay, let's move to mantra 2. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, 834. Mantra 2 only has 17 mantras to go. Okay, let's see. So number 2 basically says, if you follow one, what will happen? So what I recall in mantra 2, karma, vikarma, and akarma. So number 2 is talking about akarma, recommending about akarma. If you follow Ishavasya principle, you can live in this world, you can work in this world, you can have big family, big palaces, big positions, no problem. It's all akarma. So mantra 2 is recommending akarma because it will not bind you. Number 3, very nice verse. I'll read it. I really like this. Asurya nam te loka andhin tamsavrata tam ste pretyavigachanti Yeke cha atmano jana. So we discuss about atmaha word. So Madhvacharya gives these definitions here. Atmaha should be understood not in a literal way because no one can kill the soul, as Bhagavad Gita says, but what we can kill for the soul's consciousness. So some activities which Priya Mataji gave the example of 11th canto verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you're not availing the opportunity for which the human birth is given, we are atmaha, we are killing the soul in terms of we are going downwards in our consciousness. So Madhvacharya says the example of Mother Sita was taken by Ravana. So Mother Sita in this case, in this example, represents a jiva. And when jiva get distracted, he gets another attraction. So Sita Mata was supposed to be following Lord Ram, being attracted to Lord Ram. But for a moment, just for the Leela purpose, she got attracted to this golden deer. And then Ravan took her away. So when jiva get distracted in this material world by material things, Ravan can take us away and then put us in a place called Lanka. Lanka represents this body. This body, Lanka, is in the middle of the ocean. So this body is also in the middle of the ocean, which is the material world in samsara. And there is no way you can get out on your own. What Ram has to do, Supreme Personality of Godhead has to do, send Hanuman. Hanuman here represents the Guru Tattva. When Guru comes to this material world, which is a representative of Lord Ram or Bhagwan, then Guru guides us how to get out. And Guru can bring Krishna or Ram in our life. So that's how we have to understand these terms. So Atmaha has to be understood properly. Okay, next one, section 3. We are talking 4 to 5 mantra, which is beautiful, inconceivable characteristics of the Supreme Lord. So here we saw many contradictory characteristics of the Lord, which is impossible in a jiva. So 4, it says 4 is the first contradiction and 5 is the detail of it. So 4, it says, so he is at one place, but he runs faster. No devtas can come and sort of defeat him. And tadhavato anyan atyatishat tasmin apo, and he controls many powerful demigods of supply, air, and rain. So he surpasses all in excellence. So this is just an introductory verse in this theme, and the second verse expands upon it. And I guess it has 4 characteristics. Tad ejadi tad nejati. So he goes, but he doesn't go. Tad deure tad antike. We discussed about this phrase earlier. Tad antarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya asya bhayata. He is inside everything and he is outside as well. So we discussed about 3 Purusha incarnations of the Lord and Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Okay,
So
6
words
to
to
8.
remember.
Sorry, Namata Prabhu, I can hear you.
Yes, I
Have
was
you come
testing my
down in
voice.
the material world for us? Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. No, I was just saying it's a verse to remember. 5th one.
Hare Krishna. 4 or 5, Prabhu?
5.
5, okay, yeah. 5 is very beautiful. It's very small as well. And you don't have to actually remember this, but if you understand the meaning, you can just translate it back. Also, one example comes to my mind, Mother Yashoda looking the mouth of Krishna when Krishna ate the dirt. We know that pastime. Okay, Mahabhagat vision. So what's the connection between 3 and 4? So 3, when we understand the inconceivable characteristics of the Lord, which is only possible in the Lord, not possible in anyone else, then you start seeing the Lord correctly and the things related to Lord correctly as well, which is very, very important. Because many times we see the Lord correctly, and that's why Prabhupada explains in verse 6, 3 levels of devotees, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. So Kanishtadhikari sees Lord only in the temple. He said, yes, I'm also a Krishna devotee. I also have initiation. I have my special master, but I fight with you. Prabhupada, I think Radhanath Maharaj gave this example, if I'm not wrong. Neophyte. He's a new devotee, he always fights. It's called neophyte. He's not very mature. He's a devotee, but he's a neophyte devotee. So it doesn't have very mature understanding that Lord not only resides in temple, not only in deities, but he also resides in bhaktas, in devotees, in things, in processes. Anything which relates with Krishna, we have to respect it appropriately. So I'll just read the translation. I like reading Sanskrit. Atmani evanupashyati. So we discussed about it, and Ujjwala Samataji gave very beautiful examples how this oneness can be seen, not only in quality, which we discussed. Manmohan Prabhu said that. Sachidanand, we all have that qualities of Krishna as well, but obviously not in the same quantity, which is the first understanding. And then we can expand it, that this ekatvam, this oneness, should not be just in the quality and quantity, but also should be seen in our purpose. So what is the purpose of spiritual master? What's the purpose of Krishna? So Krishna's purpose is my children, which is all of us, should be happy. Father is happy when children and family is happy. And family is happy when father is happy. If even one person in the family is morose, he's sad, family will not be happy. It says, I heard in a lecture, which I think is true. Many devotees would have experiences in home. If when you see your deity, your Laddu Gopalji, your God Nitai, if you are sad, the deities will be sad as well. Have you noticed it? You'll see deities are also sad. Now, deities cannot be sad in that sense, but because deities are also belonging to that family, actually they do identify themselves with the family. And in that sense, if some person have left from that family, for example, deities also actually are morose. They also feel love for that person. Deities sometimes are angry, sometimes are hungry. You'll see sometimes you'll put jewelry on the deity, it will not go on the deities. They will tell you what they want. Maybe some examples, I'm sure every devotee would have experience here and there. I'm looking at Prema Bhakti Mataji. She has so many examples of that. She serves Gopinath and other devotees as well. So they have their own personal interaction with Gopinath or their home deities. So That is called ekatvam, because deities identify with that devotee and devotee identifies with deity. When Prabhupada, Mr. Nair, for example, he left when Mr. Nair was killed by Narsingadev. Prabhupada said, Jai Narsingadev. And he said, Narsingadev killed Mr. Nair. Now, Narsingadev wanted that. Now, Prabhupada is not envious of Mr. Nair. Huh? How can he be envious? He's Uttam Adhikari. But the activities of Mr. Nair was like Hiranyakashipu. And Narsingadev eventually had to come. Prabhupada is there, how can Narsingadev or Krishna can make Prabhupada unhappy? So when Prabhupada is there and someone troubling Prabhupada, Krishna becomes unhappy. Vishnu became unhappy when Prahlad was getting troubled. And he said that very clearly in Narsingha Puran, if I'm not wrong. Narsingh is crying. It's written in the word. Narsingh cries with the tears and he said, sorry, my dear boy, I came very late. He said that. It's in a verse. Narsingh Krishna is crying. Now, technically, Krishna has to be Sachidanand. Huh? He's always Ananda. We are not in Ananda. Krishna is Ananda. He's crying. Lord Ram is crying when Mother Sita is gone. Krishna is crying for Srimati Radharani. So Lord is crying. Why? He has emotions. He identifies himself with that. So that is ekatvam. Ekatvam. Very beautiful word. Now, one very nice lesson Krishna is giving with this. Tato na vijugupsate. If you see that, you will not hate anyone. You will not hate anyone. So many times we see in this material world, one country man hating another countryman, one community people hating another community people, one neighbor hating another. Sometimes within family, same family people hating each other. Duryodhana and Arjun, for example. Not that Arjun hated Duryodhana, but Duryodhana had so much hatred. So this hatred only exists because we do not see the ekatvam. We belong to the same Father. We start seeing that, there will not be any hate. Okay. Same word is used here, ekatvam anupashyata. The only difference in this 6 and 7, one of the differences, sorry, not the only. Tatra ko moha ka shoka. Anyone knows the meaning of moha and shoka? Very quickly. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, for example. Shoka and moha.
Moha is attachment and shoka is dukh.
Yes, and can you expand more?
The illusion or lamentation.
Yeah, that's perfect. So shoka is for past, moha is for present, bhaya is for future. We always bhaya, we are fearful. Kal kya hoga? Job rahegi ki nahi rahegi? We'll have a job, we'll have a family. Is insurance covering all the aspects? We're thinking about that. Major baris is happening. Insurance hai na? Even you go to Manmohan Prabhu, you have to have insurance. HCF hai kya? Everywhere is why we are bhaya. कुछ हो जाएगा, कुछ भया for शोका, उसने ऐसा किया, he has done this, शोका. And moha, oh, my son, the Rashtra is my Duryodhan. That is called illusion. My house. So we can remove all this if we start identifying ekattam anupashyataha. Lord is there. Lord is not gone anywhere. Anyway, verse 8. So there are 10 qualities of Krishna which I'll not go through. Beautiful qualities of Krishna. Akayam, which I think is mentioned in the assignment as well. Akayam refers to unembodied, which does not mean disembodied. So we become disembodied. Suppose we become a preta, for example. We all become preta, for example. Anytime we leave the body, we become preta. Just a side information. So do not be very proud. Look at this preta. Actually, hang on a second. We're all pretas at one stage, and then we got this body. Krishna's arrangement. Akayam, unembodied. So Lord doesn't need a body because there's no difference between his body and soul. Ashnaviram, he doesn't have vein. Shuddha apapamiddham, we discussed about it. Kavi, he's a greatest philosopher. Manishi, the full control of his mind. Paribhu Swayambhu, he's Swayambhu. We are not Swayambhu. Okay, let's move to the next part. So section 5. This is one of the big section of Isopanishad, understanding and misunderstanding of Ishvara. Very practical section. So mantra 9 to 11, we know Vidya and Avidya is explained in 3 aspects. So one who engages in the culture of nascent activity shall enter into the darkest region. So this mantra 9 refers back to mantra 3. So mantra 3, the principle was given, and mantra 9 is expansion on it. For example, Bhagavad Gita 240. Anyone remembers 240? Neha vikrana shosti pratyavayana vidyate. So 240 expanded into 6 chapter 36, 37 verses, but Krishna is saying, how does that aspect happen? Trayate mahato bhayat. You will be saved from the greatest fear. How? You will never go to hell. Rather, Krishna will give you opportunity based on your surrender and how much devotion you have done. Either you will become a big yogi, or you will take birth in a Suchi Nam Shim Dam Gehe Yog Bhrashto Abhijayate. You'll take birth in a very opulent family or a family of a Brahmana. This is how you will be saved from the fear. So you can say 3rd and 9th verse are interrelated. This is just an expansion. Now, one more thing comes to my mind. So Prabhupada also explained about Vedvadarta, one who claims to be scholarly in Vedas, but they're teaching the wrong things to the general mass. What they teach to general mass, going to heavenly planets is the highest goal of life. Going to Swargloka and enjoy those anandas are the highest goal of life. And Krishna rejects that in Bhagavad Gita itself. He says, Traigurnya Vishya Veda, Nistraigurnyo Bhavarjun. Traigurnya Vishya Veda. So Vedas are talking about Vishaya, and you have to go Nistraigurnyo Bhavarjun. You have to go beyond these 3 modes. So Krishna himself rejects that. So he proposes that in Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not wrong, 242, 43, and then he rejects in 246. So similarly, Krishna tells here, if you don't know Vidya, which is again the knowledge of Supreme, you should not present yourself as a Vidwan. And many times, many people in our society, unfortunately, present themselves as a big Brahman or a big Pandit, but they do not represent the right concept. I think it was Martin Luther. He was saying we are living in the age of guided missile and unguided men. So guided missile and unguided men. So who is more damaging, a guided missile or an unguided man? Who can be more dangerous?
Unguided men.
Unguided men. Why? Because this can become the guide, so-called guide of so many people and destroy so many other countries or people and resources. Guided missile will only destroy one spot. Whatever you'll say, go to A, it will go to A and destroy. But unguided men can do anything. And if unguided men think I'm the best guide, that's a worse situation. Worse situation. If some man is thirsty, another man is there, he has water, but he's not giving water. That's very bad, unfortunate. But suppose he has water and he mixes poison in that water and then gives this to man A. That's very dangerous. Rather, you not give water. It's better rather than giving water which has poison. So sometimes we give knowledge which has poison in it. That's very bad. So this is what is condemned in this particular verse. Okay, verse 10. Beautiful word dhira is used. Dhira is the person who is undisturbed by the modes of material nature. It does not get disturbed by these 6 dualities of this material nature. And Prabhupada, okay, Krishna is saying we should hear from Dhira only, because he knows the real knowledge. Prabhupada also expands these 20 qualities taken from 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 8 to 12. He mentions those 20 qualities in this particular verse and says anything else is avidya. Okay, last verse is a very practical verse. One who can learn the process of nescience and of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death. There we discussed, although avidya is not leading us to Krishna, but avidya helps us to realize Krishna sometimes faster. When you got the experience of night, then you can appreciate the day a lot more. If you have never seen night, then you will not appreciate the day so much. So sometimes it's nice to see night. Night means avidya. Once you are enrolled in the material world, as I was giving the example of Veer Krishna Maharaj, when the Guru Maharaj leaves, you should also leave. We can't do that, at least be involved in his mission. Okay. Mantra 12 to 14, similar theme, understanding and misunderstanding of the Ishvara, but in terms of worship. So previous one was in terms of Vidya, knowledge. This is in terms of worship. Similar verses are there except one thing, like andham tama pravishanti. If you attach here andham tama pravishanti, so all the three verses are exactly same. Just two words are changing here, sambhuti and asambhuti. I'll not expand on it. So basically, these verses are saying you should worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, not others. If you worship others, you should have proper understanding. One example comes to my mind. Your father is not God, but your father should be respected as God because he is your first guru. Your mother is your first guru, but he's not God. Now, in terms of priority, Shastra says Guru takes higher priority. Now, within Guru, who takes higher priority, there are multiple levels of Gurus as well, because Guru word itself has multiple level of meanings. Okay. Last section, devotees' prayer to the Lord to reveal himself. So 15, I think, Namatar Prabhu, his verse to remember, should be there, I guess. Okay, it's there. So
Yes, Prabhu.
thank you, Prabhu. Satyasya Mukham. So this verse is very, very nice verse. Prabhupada quoted many times, and he says Mukham word is used in this word. So Prabhupada saying that Krishna, that absolute truth. Now Prabhupada very beautifully does not use the word Krishna ever in Isopanishad. Anyone knows why? Why Prabhupada did not use the word Krishna in Isopanishad explanations or purports? Akhandasa Prabhu, you're saying something, but you're on mute.
I think it's Isopanishad is also meant for impersonalists who can be appreciate the absolute truth and may become personalist.
Yes, thank you. That's the
Also,
reason. So,
it's a transition between the impersonalist to personalist.
yeah, but many times you can see Mukham, Rupa is all there. So Prabhupada is always very keen to put Krishna. And that's nice. That's a characteristic of devotee. But as Akhandasa Prabhu said correctly, he want a wider audience, basically, a wider audience. So even impersonalists should be able to read this book and relish and understand and maybe come closer to Krishna. So these verses are very, very clear, which represents the personal aspect of the Lord. Satyasya apihitam mukham. So he's saying basically, please show me your mukha. Why you should show me your mukha? And that is answered in 17 and 18. Because I am not a very good person. I'm not a very good devotee. That's what the speaker is saying. Swayambhu Manu is saying. But even I'm not so good, you please accept me. Anyway, let's do some more of here. So, oh my Lord, sustainer of all that lives. The Pushan word is used. Pushan means Poshan, one who sustains everything and everyone. So everything refers to all the non-living and everyone refers to the living beings. So Lord sustains everything. If you even look at Earth or a planet Earth, for example, all the planets are moving in their orbits. Who's sustaining them? Lord is sustaining them. So he is a Pushan, he's a real Pushan. I may say, I'm the leader of my family, I'm doing the Poshan. What sort of Poshan I'm doing? If Lord wasn't giving me that opportunity. Satya Dharmaya, Satya Dharmaya refers to devotees. So Satya is also the name of the Lord. And he's saying, please, you are Satya and please reveal yourself. Drishtaya also is a word which goes with Mukham, because unless Mukha is there, you cannot use the word Drishti. You cannot use the word Drishti for Hava, for air. You cannot see air. You can experience air. You can prove the presence of air. You cannot see air. No one will say, oh, today air is wearing a green dress or a blue dress. You cannot see the air. Air is no such thing. So Mukham and Drashtaya clearly refers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, personal feature. Yes, Akhandasa Prabhu. I'll take a quick question. If it is long, we'll take it later.
Sorry. I heard you mention Swayambhu Manu, but I could not find any reference in the purports anywhere that
In
this was,
Isopanishad purport?
yeah, in the purports, I couldn't find that name.
Yeah, so it's there. Hanumat Prashat Maharaj, he mentions it. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu mentions it. Bhurijan Prabhu mentions it in their commentaries, in their lectures. They clearly mentioned that. So I had, can't remember where I read it. Hanumat Prashat Maharaj, he is a very great scholarly person. He's Prabhupada disciple. He has taken this course, I don't know, hundreds of times. And same as Bhurijan Prabhu. Bhurijan Prabhu, I don't need to say how scholarly he is. Clearly mentions that. Chaitanya Prabhu also mentions that. Okay. Yeah, so this is one verse, very important verse of Isopanishad, which proves the personal aspect of the absolute truth. Another beautiful verse in this series is verse 16, where the word rupa is there. Where is the rupa? Here, rupa. Tejo yatte rupam. So rupam word is used. Rupa can again be used with mukha. If mukha is not there, rupa will not be there. And how is the rupa? How is the beauty of the Lord? Kalyantama. One example comes in my mind of Gajendra. So Gajendra, many people fight for this impersonal aspect of the Lord or the personal aspect of the Lord. But one speaker, I can't remember who was saying, Gajendra prayed to impersonal Lord. There's a verse in Gajendra prayers, Gajendra is mentioning Supreme Lord as Arupaya, Ururupaya, Arupaya, and impersonalists love this word. See, Arupaya, Arupaya. Arupa word is used. So yes, Arupa is there. From what context we are saying? The problem starts when we take the meanings of the word very in a frozen perspective. What we know. What is his name? Zakir Naik, if I'm not wrong, he says, Natasya Pratima Asti, Natasya Pratima Asti. This is written in Vedas. Yes, we also accept Natasya Pratima Asti. What do you think Pratima means? Pratima means Murti. That's all he can think about. But Vedic literature is not so gross. It's very, very deep. Pratima means which cannot be compared with anything else. Lord Ram said to Kaushalya, I will not eat meat in the jungle. And people take that Sanskrit verse and quote. See, Lord Ram is saying, I'll not eat meat in the jungle. That means he must be eating meat in the palace. Stupid. Stupid understanding. Lord Ram is just ensuring Mother Kaushalya, even if the emergency comes, I will not eat meat. If you're from vegetarian family, you're coming from India to Australia, you'll tell your mother, Mother, I will not drink alcohol in Australia or in America. It's just ensuring to the mother, not saying, no, I'm drinking alcohol here and I'll not drink alcohol there. So people take Natasya Pratima Asti, Natasya Pratima Asti. Pratima means one which cannot be compared. Tulsi, same meaning. Tulsi, which cannot be compared. The devotion of Tulsi cannot be compared with others. So Rupa, Rupa word. Arupaya, Ururupaya. So Ururupaya means whose Rupa is great. We have Urukram. We have Urugai. Urugai is also the name of Krishna, whose glories are sung by choicest poetries. That's called Urugai. So we have to understand these words in a very, very nice perspective. So Rupam is word is there. We have Rupam Prabhu. We his Guru Maharaj upgraded his name. So Rupam word. Kalyantama. Seeing the Lord is Kalyantama. Tama refers to the highest degree. Now someone can see me and feel good about me. Maybe. Not many people do that, but anyway. But I'm not Kalyantama. How long my Kalyan will last? 1 year I may be the, what do you call it? Miss Universe or Mrs. Universe, whatever, Miss Universe, I think. But next year, the same Miss Universe gives the crown to another lady. Same. Do you think she feels very happy about it? Her name is gone. No one will remember her. Maybe 1998 Miss Universe, this lady, that person. Next year, she's gone. So how long our Kalyan will last? But Supreme Lord, Kalyan Tama, the most auspicious seeing Krishna. We discussed about how we should try to present this body in front of Supreme Lord as much as possible. And Maharaj was saying, even if you feel ashamed, not that we do, but even if you feel ashamed in bowing down to Krishna fully, then what pranam in temple, at home you should bow down at least 20 times a day. Isn't it? At home, in front of your deities, you should bow down, bow down, bow down. It's very beneficial. This deha, this body has bowed down to so many people in so many janmas. Now you should put our head down in front of Lord. Then this body becomes pure. Because he is Kalyantama, he is most auspicious. Just by doing pranam, we are going upwards. And Sohamasmi, we discussed about Sohamasmi. Anyone would like to explain this? I get very excited actually with these terms. So this verse is also a beautiful explanation of Achintya Bheda Bheda. Lord's impersonal aspect as well as personal aspect. So Sohamasmi, who will say? Anyone? Deva Mataji, you can expand Soham.
Nahi, Prabhu, trying to find in the notes now.
Okay, nobody. Anyone else? Who has not spoken as
So,
yet?
so it
Dasa Prabhu, you
means,
have done it. Okay, now Prabhu. Yeah.
yeah, suppose, yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. It says, it means that I am that.
I
So
am
this
that.
is, this, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where, if I recollect correctly, the discussion started between personalists and impersonalists, that we accept Lord in both Brahman, Lord's both Brahman aspect as well as the non-Brahman aspect, whereas
Bhagwan
for
aspect.
the Bhagwan aspect, for a Mayavadi, it's just one aspect which the Brahman aspect which they consider.
Yes.
So, and that's why you are relating this to the Achinta Bheda Ved is
Yes.
um, he's present as well as he's not present. So he's present as in physically he's present, and he's not present in a means he's not physically present, but his energies are there.
Yes.
So again, that correlates to the fact that we are similar to the Lord qualitatively,
Yes.
but we are very, very, very dissimilar to God quantitatively.
Yes, that's correct. And another thing which comes out of this, many things comes out of this. So this is the way Upanishads talks about. Aap wahi hain, you are that. Huh? And then they leave that. Who's that? That? They don't define it. Huh? They leave it. Huh? Because this is where you have to transition. You have to transition. You are that. But who's that? That? Millions of scholars are expanding on that. But that is, as Namavatar Prabhu said, that is refers to our original nature, which is fine. We are also Brahman. We are Brahman. We are not this body. We are Brahman. We are also Satchitanand, but not that we are supreme Satchitanand. Huh? That we are not. And we discussed that funny story of Soham, Dasoham, Sadasoham, Sadadasoham. Huh?
Oh, yes.
Dasoham. Huh? So Vaishnava and Avaishnava, they keep adding one letter on top of it. Huh? So Vaishnava is always Dasoham. We are the servant of the servant of the servant. Huh? That is our position. And we will remain there. And we are very happy being there. As Prabhupada said, in the material world, the concept of servant is the employer is exploiting the servant. But in the spiritual world, I think initially Ujjwala Samataji was explaining, Ishwar is also trying to serve his devotee, like a mother trying to serve the child. Mother is superior to the child, but she's trying to serve the child. So much so, even she is unhappy with child's activity. Sometimes she will allow, okay, तुमको यही करना है तो करो. And then later on, child comes to mother, I'm so sorry. Mother said, it's all right. It's all right. This is where we are. Huh? We were very obstinate to come to this material world. Lord said, okay, यही चाहिए तो ले लो. Raman said to Sita के लिए ना चाहिए ही चाहिए यही चाहिए. So many people said, don't take Sita, don't take Sita. नहीं यही चाहिए. So actually it's not Raman, it's all of us. I'm sorry to say, at least me. Huh? यही चाहिए. You come to the material world. It says Krishna came to the third door and says, Jiva, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go. But when he said, हमें जाना ही जाना है. So Krishna says, okay, you go and try it out. And now we're all sitting here trying to do Bhakti Shastri, and you must be cursing me. Why he has to take exam? If he has to take exam, why he has to take on 19th of May? Is it 19 or 18, whatever? Can we not extend the exam date? Proposals are coming indirectly, at least I can see. But I'm sorry, this is how it is. Discipline. This is discipline. That's all it is. Prabhupada wanted discipline. We are trying. So Soham is very beautiful, and we have to understand it nicely. Okay, last two verses I'll take very quickly. This is very nice. Krato ismar, kratam ismar, krato ismar, kratam ismar. So basically, Bhakta is saying, you please remember all that what I have done for you. Now, this is not a condition here, but it's just a prayer. One is the condition. As the Lord comes, and Lord is one story, I'll not go in detail. One man did tapasya, and Lord came and he said, okay, what do you want? And he said, Lord, can you come tomorrow? I have to calculate how much tapasya I have done. So I will ask the boon appropriately. Lord came back the next day and he said, anyway, before Lord came, Lord made a situation. There was a lot of fire in that jungle. So this man was very, very thirsty. So one little boy was carrying a small bucket of water. So this man said to this boy, please give me this bucket of water. So the boy said, Mujhe kya milega? What will I get? So this man didn't have anything. He said, I will give you half of my tapasya. Half of the austerity what I have done, I will give it to you. So the boy gave half a bucket of water. And this man said, this much water is not enough for my survival. Please give me more. So boy gave little more. He said, I'll give you 3/4 of my tapasya. So he gave 3/4 of tapasya to the boy. And the Lord came, the man had the full list ready. So before even the man could look at the list, the Lord had 1/4 glass of water. And he gave to this man. And man said, what is this? He said, this is the result of your quarter tapasya, which you had not given to the boy. See, 3/4 of tapasya you had given for 3/4 glass of water. So how much that cost? The rest of the 1/4. Quarter glass of the water. So Lord gave that. He said, Ho gaya. We're trying to make Krishna fool. You are only making yourself fool. So he's requesting to the Lord, whatever I have done, please accept, please remember that. And the last verse is saying, even what I have done was not perfect because I'm imperfect. Many times we do devotion service with all good intention. We make mistakes. We do seva aparad, we do nama aparad, we do Vaishnava aparad as well. We may not even intend to make a Vaishnava aparad. Sometimes it happens. Someone will misunderstand you, will not look at you properly. What can we do? What can we do? It happens to so many. I'm remembering Gopal Krishna Maharaj again. He was saying about the criticism on the internet. He's saying, you just do your seva. As far as you don't have intention to do aparadh, people will misunderstand. You don't have to bother too much about it. Krishna will take care of that. So devotee here is saying, even if those attempts for your service were not complete, were not perfect, you please accept. So it's a very humble prayer. It's a very humble prayer to the Lord. And we should also pray in that mood. Whatever sevas we do, whatever little bit we do, based on the guidance of our acharyas, we make so many mistakes in those. So we are making humble prayer to the Lord that please accept whatever is the Govardhan Parikrama I did and I ate something. Some devotee was saying, when I was doing Parikrama, I ate something because I was too hungry. I was trying to do Nirjala, it didn't happen. That's fine. That's fine. Lord will not judge you at the end of your life. Oh, you ate one kheera on Govardhan Parikrama. I'll not give you result of your Govardhan Parikrama. It doesn't work that way. In the same time, we cannot say to Lord, Lord, I have done every Ekadashi Govardhan Parikrama. Do you have it in your diary? Then Lord will make us fool like that boy. So both ways. If we are honest, we are sincere. Radhanath Maharaj always says, you should be sincere. It's a very nice word. We may not be perfect, but we can become sincere. Wherever we are, whatever our condition is, or whatever our conditioning is, we can sincerely try to serve Lord and His devotees. Sincerely. How much that will be converted to actual seva, we don't know. We don't know. We are very limited. But sincerity is very, very, very nice. So we should become sincere in our attempts to serve the Lord. And then that service will be taken as perfect seva, although it may be imperfect seva. Just read the last one here. Oh, this is also Agni. Agni is very nice because Lord, Supreme Lord, can burn everything, whatever impurities we have. Now, I offer all obeisances to you, falling on the ground at your feet. Please lead me on the right path to reach you. And since you know all that I have done in the past, please free me from the reactions to my past sins. Please free me, whatever I have done. Please free. Sardharman Prateja, Mamekam Shanam. Okay, I'll stop here. 10 minutes over. If you have questions, you can write it and we can answer outside this class. Now, just to end this class here, quick things about the exam. So exam is on, I forgot the date myself, Sunday. I don't say something. 19th. Okay, I was right actually. Sorry, I was not confident. I'll be very honest with you. That okay, 19th May, the exam starts at 2:30. The written exam is only 1.5 hours. So we'll finish at 4 o'clock. 4 to 5, we'll do 5 verses. Namatar Prabhu? Is it 5? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
5 verses. We have to just say as we have done in the past 3 modules. And Matajis can stay in one room if that's okay. Prabhujis can come in just to speed up the process. Because 5 o'clock we have to leave the room. Vrindavan Pali Mataji has seva in that room. Please bring your laptops and chargers and blah, blah, blah. Sundar Gopal will write all that. Please come on time. If you're late, we will still finish at 4 o'clock and you can email me all your answers. Now, what you have to study for the exam. So first priority is your assignment, first priority. And as someone said, I can't remember, Ujjwala Samataji, because she's very scholarly, she takes a lot of interest, and she's saying, oh, verse 12 se koi prashn hi nahi hai. Mantra 12 doesn't have any questions. So my answer to that one is you read Mantra 12 fully. And if you really wanted to just go through your or our discussion, the yellow points which we have discussed in the class, your class notes, and get through this class as well, just to get a good overview from invocation, introduction, and the whole thing. The whole idea is, to my understanding, you should have a good understanding of Isopanishad at least on 19th of May. On 20th, you will forget. What can I say? But have a good understanding of this book, because most probably I'll be very practical here. You will not touch this book in future unless you have a seva from this book. You have to teach this verse too. So please have a good understanding till 19th of May at least. And yeah, we'll see you all around 2:15. Try to arrive there by 2:15. Anything else, please message me and we can set up a time and we can try to respond. If I know, I'll try to answer your question. Okay, anything quick from anyone? Not a philosophical question, but which I love, but just don't have time.
Prabhuji, sorry, assignment
Yes.
format is the same, or there's no end, like is a long answer or paragraph or essay or anything?
Same thing, Mother. Answer 2 to 3 lines. I expect that. So don't just translate Atma to killer of the soul. That to me actually is incomplete answer, and incomplete can lead to incorrect answers. So just write 2 lines. You'll have 1.5 hours is enough to write 2 lines for each question. Again, it can be 3 lines as well if needed. Okay. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, anything else which I have missed out?
How many questions in the exam?
How many questions in the exam? The answer is just coming. You'll know.
And also, what are the questions of
What are the questions? Both questions answer is 2:30 p.m. 19th of May, Sunday, in Hare Krishna temple. You will get the answer.
Prabhu, Sunday is Ekadashi as well.
Haribo!
So can we postpone or?
Hare Krishna. I love your courage, Mataji. So Krishna says in Padma Puran, I love the seva which you do on Ekadashi. So we're trying to serve Krishna more on Ekadashi by reading Prabhupada books and answering. So fully absorbing ourselves in the Isopanishad, I think is the best use of Ekadashi. You can do all the extra 9 or 16 rounds after the exam, that's fine. Gopal Krishna Maharaj will still be happy. But please finish 25 rounds at least. Make a habit. At least I'm saying. But 32 should become a norm for this devotee crowd, I guess. Many are initiated devotees. It should become a normal, 32. Anyway, this Ekadashi, you decide what you want to do. Okay. Anything else from anyone? Last call. Mahasu Prabhu looking supremely cool. He is a Dhira.
No problem. I'm just trying to absorb. It's very too much to absorb actually.
Too much to absorb. Okay, Sundar Gopal Prabhu has the recording, and I'm there. Again, it was super fast class, but what to do? Time is limited. My Guru Maharaj said, when you go to the spiritual world, then you can have unlimited time to discuss Krishna Katha. So hopefully one day we'll do some Krishna Katha there. Okay, let's stop here. Thank you.